Close your eyes for a second. Feel your own arms right now. Loose. Light. They move without you even thinking about it. You raise a hand to scratch your face, and it takes no effort at all. No decision, just motion. Now imagine every one of your limbs locked inside steel. 30 kilos of it, strapped plate by plate to your body, from your shoulders to the tips of your toes. You didn't dress yourself this morning. You couldn't have. Someone else did, and it took the better part of an hour. This is 1415. You are a man-at-arms, and within the hour you will walk onto a field outside a town called Agincourt to fight for your life. Your squire starts at your feet, and he has to. The order matters. Once the leg plates are buckled and pinned, you won't be able to bend far enough to reach your own boots again until someone unbuckles you. First comes the arming doublet, a thick, quilted linen garment already faintly damp from being worn the day before, because armor without heavy padding underneath would grind your skin raw within minutes of movement. Then the mail, hanging in the gaps where plate can't reach, the inside of your elbow, your armpit, the back of your knee. Then, plate over plate, greaves around your shins, cuisses over your thighs, a breastplate that a second pair of hands has to lift and settle onto your shoulders because you can no longer see straight down past your own chest to guide it yourself. Each piece on its own weighs only a kilo or two. It's the sum of all of them: greaves, cuisses, breastplate, backplate, pauldrons, vambraces, gauntlets, helm, that adds up to something close to 30 kilos. And the strange part is how it doesn't feel that heavy yet. The weight is spread across your whole frame, rather than stacked on your back, the way a sack of grain would sit. You roll your shoulders. You bend your knees, one at a time, testing. You could run in this. You could climb a ladder, vault onto a horse without a stirrup, even turn a cartwheel if some fool dared you to. The weight is not the problem. Not yet. The problem is what an hour of moving inside it will cost you. Last comes the gauntlets, and something changes the moment they close over your fingers. Your hands, which have picked up 100 small objects without thought every day of your life, are now thick steel shapes that can grip a sword hilt and very little else. You try to scratch your nose out of habit. You can't. That itch will still be there in 3 hours. The order to move comes, and you start walking toward the field, with several hundred other men doing the same, and almost immediately you feel it, the thing nobody warned you about. Full plate armor, worn and moving, costs more than double the energy of walking the same distance without it. More, even, than carrying a pack of the exact same weight on your back, because the plates lock your knees and hips into a stiffer stride, so every step is your own muscles fighting the steel instead of moving freely inside it. You haven't swung a single blow yet, and your breath is already working harder than it should. Under the arming doublet, sweat starts pooling in the small of your back, in the crease behind your knees, in the hollow of your collarbone. Nowhere for it to go, no air moving against your skin to dry it. Your mail shirts click faintly with every stride, a small metallic whisper that becomes so constant within a few minutes that you stop hearing it as a sound and start feeling it as a rhythm, like your own footsteps have grown a second, quieter echo. Somewhere ahead, an order passes down the line, and one visor after another swings shut with a short, metallic snap. Then it's your turn. The moment your own visor closes, the world you've known for the last 20 minutes disappears. What's left is a horizontal slit, maybe 2 centimeters high, and everything outside that narrow band simply stops existing. The men beside you, the sky, your own feet on the ground. You have to turn your entire head now just to see who's standing next to you. Sound changes with it. Your own breath turns loud and close, bouncing back off curved steel a few centimeters from your lips, hot and a little stale on the second breath, hotter on the third. The shouted orders and the noise of hundreds of men moving arrive muffled now, flattened, as if you're hearing them from behind a closed door. You are standing in the middle of one of the largest gatherings of your life, and it already feels like the most alone you have ever been. This is the part no painting ever shows you. You stand, fully armored, formed up and ready, for what stretches into what feels like an hour before anything happens at all. And the heat inside the steel has nowhere to go. It builds first against your scalp, under the padded lining of the helm, then creeps down through your shoulders and chest. Your mouth goes dry, and there's no way to bring water to your lips. Not with the visor down, not with gauntlets that can barely manage a sword hilt, let alone a water-skinned stopper. And no squire close enough right now to help. If you need to relieve yourself, you don't. You simply hold it, along with everything else your body is asking you to deal with, because there is no dignified way to undo 30 kilos of interlocking steel standing in a formation of men. This waiting, not the fighting, is where men in full harness quietly begin to fail. Heat building inside a closed helm was one of the real, constant dangers of medieval warfare, a threat that could take a man down with exhaustion or heat stroke before an enemy blade ever reached him. You feel your own pulse now, not in your wrist, but in your temples, pressing against the padded steel that surrounds your skull. Then the order comes, and everything you've been holding still for the last hour releases all at once. Through your narrow slit, the world arrives in fragments instead of a scene. A raised banner tilting sideways, a horse's flank crossing left to right, a shape resolving out of the gray only a half-second before it's close enough to matter. There's no peripheral vision left to warn you of anything outside that slit. You react to what's directly in front of you, and nothing else, because nothing else is real to your eyes right now. Your right arm, wrapped in steel from shoulder to wrist, has gone from 30 kilos of protection to 30 kilos. You now have to swing. Again and again. And each swing costs more than the one before it. Your lungs pull air through a gap barely wide enough to breathe through comfortably even standing still. And you are not standing still. Your own sweat runs down into your eyes, and you cannot wipe it away. You blink hard instead, over and over, and keep moving. The ground beneath you has turned to something else entirely. Churned, ankle-deep mud, softened by rain, and broken apart by thousands of boots and hooves ahead of yours. And this is the moment that decides more than the fighting does. If your footing goes and you go down, 30 kilos of steel does not help you rise. It pins you exactly where you land, face down or on your back, arms and legs suddenly working against their own weight instead of with it. At the real Battle of Agincourt in 1415, this is precisely what happened to hundreds of French knights. The field had become deep, sucking mud. Men fell and could not get back up on their own, and were crushed or suffocated under the weight of their own armor and the men falling on top of them. Staying upright is not a detail of this fight. Staying upright is the entire fight. Eventually, somehow, it's over. The order comes to stand down, and someone reaches you and pulls your visor back open, and light and air and the full, unfiltered noise of the world rush back in all at once. Louder than you remember it being. Your legs are shaking, not from any wound, just from the sustained effort of holding 30 kilos upright for the better part of 2 hours. Someone begins unbuckling the plates in reverse order from how they went on, and each piece that comes off feels like it weighs twice what it did that morning. Underneath, your arming doublet is soaked through, and the skin beneath it is raw in places you didn't know existed until this moment. You will sleep tonight more exhausted than you have ever been, from a fight in which you may not remember landing a single decisive blow. Only the weight, the heat, the narrow slit, and the mud. The next time you shrug on a heavy winter coat and forget you're even wearing it, remember this. A knight's entire battle could be lost or won just standing upright, inside 30 kilos of steel, breathing through a gap 2 centimeters wide.